Fireworks often produce bright colors due to the presence of specific metal salts in the explosive mixture. Which of the following best explains why these salts produce colors when the fireworks are ignited? Anytime you see a problem that's talking about the production of visible light or photons, you need to be thinking about electrons moving from an excited state back to their ground state. Look at the sketch of an atom here, and we'll say that we have an electron in the lower energy level that has been excited to move to the higher energy level. That electron's not stable when it's excited, so it's going to fall back down to its ground state. And this could happen in multiple steps or just all at once. But regardless, anytime an electron falls from a higher energy level to a lower energy level, the electron itself is losing energy. So we'll call the electron's energy at the excited state EI for E initial, and at the ground state EF for E final. This means that the difference between the initial energy and the final energy is equal to the energy that the electron lost, which we can call delta E. Anytime an electron loses energy like this, it emits a photon, and the energy of that photon is equal to delta E. And then you can use the energy of the photon in this equation, E equals HF, to figure out the frequency of that photon. And if it has a frequency that falls in the visible light spectrum, then this will be a photon that we can see as visible light. And then the color of that photon depends on the exact frequency that it has. The orbital diagram to the right just shows this more accurately, where maybe one of these 2p electrons gets excited to the 3p orbital, and then eventually it falls back down to its ground state, and whenever it falls back down, it's going to emit a photon. So the answer option that lines up with what we've been saying is option C, because it's talking about how electrons get excited and then fall back down, and when they fall back down, they're releasing photons. And these photons have frequencies that fall in the visible light spectrum, and we see it as colors. A is wrong because it's claiming that the excitation of electrons is what causes light to be emitted, but light is emitted when an electron relaxes back to its ground state, not when it gets excited. B is wrong because it's claiming that an exothermic reaction is what creates the photons, and exothermic just means that the reaction releases heat. It doesn't say anything about photons being emitted. D is wrong because it's claiming that the ions are just reflecting light better, and if they were only reflecting light, then the light released by fireworks would just look like sunlight and not have all of these bright colors. Let me know in the comments if there are other topics you'd like to see covered.